I want to take an opportunity today to delve into the positive and the affirmative. There's way too much negativity out there, folks. It's too easy to get caught up in it. It is intended for you to get caught up in it. The negativity in the drive-by media and in the people that, as I say it, write the daily script for the soap opera that is what we think of as news coming out of Washington primarily, but nationwide, is designed to depress you. It's designed to dispirit you. It's designed to make you despondent. What it really is designed to do is to make you put your hands up and say, I quit. And you are to eventually get so fed up that you just tune out. You give up your passion for politics and national affairs, particularly if you're a Trump supporter. That's the long-term objective of the work of the drive-by media on you. On Trump, of course, the objective is to get rid of Trump. But while all this is happening, there is amazingly positive and uplifting and encouraging news. And by definition, the drive-by media, they're reporting it. It is not being heralded. It's not being trumpeted. It's not being focused on. There are no cable TV news network panels assembled to analyze it or discuss it. No, instead, the news is so good that the drive-bys had to create a new meme and narrative over the weekend to distract everybody from it. And that narrative is that Trump is going to fire Mueller before Christmas. Jackie Speier, Democrat Congresswoman, I don't know, for California, wherever she's from, actually said that she has heard from high sources that Trump is going to fire Mueller by Friday. That's all it took. The drive-by media picked up with it and ran with it, and it became the narrative for the weekend, and it remained the narrative of the morning as the news continued to break. That was the bombshell intended to distract you from the real news. All the ginned-up hysteria about Trump going to fire Mueller before Christmas. And the media and the Democrats are trying to portray this as a coup. They're trying to portray this as Trump acknowledging his guilt and is taking a preemptive strike against the special counsel to derail the investigation. Plus, he's going to pardon Flynn. And this was out there for a day and a half or 2 days, and it survived into the morning, and then Trump finally came. I'm not firing Mueller. By the way, with half the country thinking Mueller's investigation's a sack of garbage, why would he fire Mueller? There isn't any evidence that Mueller has anything on Trump anyway. Mueller's so off the rails, he's having to go back and look at emails that he supposedly acquired legitimately from the Trump transition team. What does any of this have to do with collusion between Trump and the Russians, which was the predicate for starting all of this? Now, the media, folks, is counting on people like you being too busy with your Christmas shopping to really be paying that close attention to what's going on in the news. But for those of you who are, the actual news is actually the opposite, almost the opposite of what's being reported. For instance, the drive-bys keep claiming that Trump is pulling out all the stops to try to discredit Mueller and his team. Trump isn't doing that. Mueller is. Mueller's own team is discrediting itself. Well, even George Will, who hates Trump. George Will in a column last week. Trump is the worst president in American history, George Will wrote. Has a piece out today, or maybe a comment somewhere. I don't know, maybe it was on TV commentary. I forget where it was. But he said or wrote that he can't believe such a responsible guy with so much integrity as Bob Mueller would put this many anti-Trumpist, pro-Hillary people on his investigation team. He just can't understand it. Can't believe why that would happen. Trump isn't discrediting Mueller. Trump doesn't have to discredit Mueller. Mueller is discrediting Mueller, and all the people that work for him are discrediting this investigation. From this Orr guy, Bruce Orr, to Strzok, to Andrew McCabe, to the mistress, to the Weisenstein, whatever the number one aide to Mueller is. I mean, these people are as corrupt as the day is long. And if there's any drive-bys are trying to say that Trump is actually running a coup against Mueller. Do you believe this? when in fact it is the opposite. It's Mueller and his team discrediting themselves. Now, the latest way that the Mueller team has discredited itself was revealed over the weekend. We learned that the Mueller people got tens of thousands of emails from the Trump transition team that had been stored by the General Services Administration, and they've had them for a while. And they have been asked, they have been interviewing people on the basis of these emails that nobody knew they had. Donald Trump Jr. had a 20-minute meeting and has had 20 hours of interviews with this team of people. And that's just one example. The emails included privileged communications, including lawyer-client communications, and the Mueller team did not have permission from the owners of these emails to get them. Now, Mueller's saying, no, everything's on the up and up. Well, then why are we only just now learning that you had access? They were not gotten via warrant. It required some illness on the part of people running the GSA before Mueller found somebody that would turn this stuff over to him. Anyway, I have to take a quick time out. We'll do that. We will be back and continue right after this. Don't go away. So right now, folks, we're living in a country where the most pressing question in the drive-by media is, will Trump fire Mueller? The focus should be on Mueller and not Trump. Asking Trump if he's going to fire Mueller is an attempt to pressure and bully Trump into a no-win situation, because Trump fires him, riots in the streets, and who knows what other kinds of things will happen. If Trump doesn't fire Mueller, it's a green light for Mueller to be unaccountable and unstoppable. It's about the only thing Trump can count on here is that by the survey, 50% of the people in the country think that what Mueller is doing is bogus and are not believing anything about this investigation that they've heard, but the other 50% do. And you given this last email grab from the transition team, Mueller's demonstrated that he doesn't have any evidence of Trump colluding with Putin, which is what this is all about. And this is the thing that ought to be of stark reality to everybody. The only reason for this investigation, the only perceived reason for this investigation is because of a supposed great concern that the Russians were able to hack our precious and delicate election systems. And the Russians were able to steal an election away from the woman who was supposed to win it. And instead, they stole it for Donald Trump. And we need to get to the bottom of this, because this represents one of the greatest penetrations of American security in the history of America. This is horrible and it's terrible. And if the Russians have found a way in, we need to find out. That was the reason for all of this. The media, the Democrats, got everybody all worried that our elections have been corrupted, that they're not legitimate, that the Russians can at will get in and pick whoever they want to win. A bunch of low-information voters hear that, and it duly scares them, as it should scare anybody if such a charge were ever serious. But there's never been any evidence of it, and after over a year of intense investigation, there still isn't. And that was the entire reason that was given to the public for this investigation. Now, the truth is, as far as Justice Department guidelines are concerned, it was not the reason given. There was no crime specified for Mueller to track down, on purpose and by design. So Mueller is free to go look at whatever he wants to find any crime he can wherever it exists. And he's got a license to do just that. There isn't a shred of evidence on collusion. I read over the weekend, there's still some conservative blogs who apparently believe Trump colluded, and they're just now questioning the possibility that it didn't. conservative blogs, supposedly conservative blogs, actually now beginning to write as though maybe this whole thing didn't happen. Now, they're granted they're never Trumpers. But it is the height of intellectual stupidity to think after this much time that there is a there. Mueller isn't even looking at that. Maybe with this acquisition of all these transition team emails, he thinks there's going to be some smoking gun in there. The people have had access to these emails in the GSA. You don't think the deep state knows what's in these things? But again, it doesn't matter what's in them. It's what is supposedly in them based on what leaks appear in the media. So we're not grounded in reality here in anything at all. If somebody wants to leak that there's a bombshell here, they can do it. And the drive-bys will dutifully publish it. And we will never know what it is. Nothing will ever come of it because there isn't a bombshell. If there were, it would have already surfaced. Because believe me, the entire Washington establishment has arisen each day out of bed looking, hoping, praying that that day is the day they find incontrovertible proof that Putin stole the election and then hopefully did it with the help of Donald Trump. So the Mueller panel is out of control, but everybody's focusing on Trump and how out of control Trump is. Trump's going to fire Mueller before Christmas. And that becomes news that disguises everything else.